Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 28th Pan-European Conference. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. Welcome. I think this time we can really say warm welcome to wherever you are and to wherever you have tuned in with us. So, as always, we have the presentations on the digital teaching best practice from you. Today we have 4 presentations going on, and it is on the topic of motivation and innovative teaching, as well as teaching English in specific. So I can see already the comments are going on. We salute also to anyone who has tuned in. Your comments, your thoughts are really more than welcome. We will address them during the conference. So happy to be with you on this summer edition. So without further ado, I would now like to invite all of our presenters into the studio so that we can have a quick meeting up, quick getting to know them. And in the order of today's presentation, we first have Anda.
Hello, everyone.
Nida. Then we have Anna.
Hi.
And Irena.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so I would like to give you now a minute of your time to introduce yourself. I suggest we start with Anda, who has the first presentation. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. Nice to meet you. I hope we'll have a great conference here. And I'm ready to share with you some of my practices. I'm a primary school teacher in Romania, in Bucharest. Now I have a preparatory class, but with previous series, I have my children have 10, 11 years old. So I did with them this project. That's why I'm presenting today something about a book trailer.
Okay, thank you. So we will now continue. Nida, it's your turn. How are you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you, Tina. I'm very well, maybe a bit anxious. Oops. So sorry because of the doorbell. I'm so sorry for the background sounds because there are kids at home. At home, as you know, we are at summertime, break time.
It's okay.
I'm very happy and very excited to be here with you, and it's an honor for me to be here as a presenter because I joined some of your other conferences, the past ones as a listener, and they were really great. And maybe I can be a bit excited too because of this. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so we will now continue. We go to Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna Stefanowicz-Kocol. I know it's a long Polish name. I'm a university teacher, but I'm also the head of international office at the university, and I will be talking to you today about a project that we're involved in. The project is related to secondary schools.
Okay, thank you also for your introduction. And we go also to the fourth presentation and presenter, Irena. Could you also say a few words about yourself? How are you doing?
Hello, everyone, again.
Hi.
My name is Irena Biba. I am from Albania, master teacher and trainer. Actually, I have 24 years in field of education. It's a great honor being here for the second time to present a beautiful topic, active learning and innovative teaching in flexible learning spaces. I'm a teacher that's always I'm willing to learn and to share my experiences and my thoughts with others. It's a great honor again being here with you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for all of your introductions. I will now just say a few technical words also for our listeners. Okay, so as you know, the link for the certificate is already at the comment. It is also pinned at the top of the section Facebook, but you will also see it more times in the comments throughout the whole conference so that you will be able to apply for it. So that's first thing. Another thing is that at the end we will have also the evaluation link, and you are kindly invited to answer, to evaluate, and help us to improve, and also to let you know what did you think about this specific conference. Yes, also all the presentations are already in the group Pan-European Conference. If you are not yet part of it, you are more than welcome to join and see the presentation. Okay, so I think it's time to start. So we will first have Anda, who has stories about us reading motivation. Anda, hi. Can you share your screen?
Hello again. Yes, I will do it right now.
I will. Should I add it to the screen?
I think it will. Okay, right now it's okay. And 1 second more.
Okay.
I hope you will see my presentation
yes,
now.
we see now your PowerPoint presentation. If you are ready, the stage is yours. I will remove yourself and yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you all. I hope you will learn something from my experience, and I am glad to share this project with you. As I said already, my last series of students finished 1 year ago. And because they were, let's say, a little bit slower at reading, with many cell phones, iPads, platforms of gaming, the books were on the last place on their favorite things to read or to. So I try to motivate them to read, and because they are born digital, and also they are very visual, I try to use this method called book trailer to invite them to speak about their favorite books, their favorite lectures, their favorite characters. The important things about book trailers is they can combine their favorite books or moments, parts of their favorite books, with images, sounds, music, drawing. And at the end, as you will see, because I will have 3 examples from their creation, at the end of my presentation, they are very happy to present their favorite books in another way than the usual part, let's say a project in the school or something on the paper. But first, what is a book trailer, and how do we create a book trailer? For me, it's important to read. I hope also for you, but I try to express this in another way and transmit to my students the pleasure of reading and the pleasure of exchanging opinion about books and characters and themes with the others, because what we read makes us happy, makes us more beautiful on inside, and makes us more communicative. So a book trailer, it's a short movie, 30 to 90 seconds, in which you can present what is most important idea in that book, in your favorite book. What is the best way to become a hero? What is the most unusual part of, I don't know, your character or the plot of the book? So that motivates my children to read more and to present these things that they were impressed of in a book trailer. It's a story about your favorite book. It's a way to present, to promote, or to sell a book. So I encourage my students not only to read, make their own books and promote them by a book trailer. A book trailer, it's, as already said to you, a short video. You can say there a few things about the main plot, the main character, or about one event from that book. But it's a funny way to present them using images, your drawings, using your music or some parts of a very famous composer. You tell us the story of your book in your words, in your images, or in your way. My intention for today is not only to present what is a book trailer or how my students did this, also to teach you, if you want, just the important steps of creating a book trailer. For example, you can do this in a PowerPoint program. And first, let's say, I don't know, you choose one of your favorite book and you want to say something about that. Maybe the most important thing is how the character is presented. So you have to figure out what you want to say in that promo, in that book trailer, and choose a part of your text, organize your ideas and your pictures or drawings, also the sound part. A book trailer for me is how my soul and my mind understand the book and how I want to present this to the others. For example, after you figure what you want to say in that promo, you can create a slide presentation in a PowerPoint or other program. As you will see, my students use also Book Creator or Powtoon, which are based on PowerPoint presentation. Choose images, photos, or own drawings to illustrate it. For example, one of my students said, it's a very complicated way to find pictures and respect the author rights, so I will do my own drawings to illustrate my book trailer. The other one said, for my soundtrack, I need my own music, so I will compose some part on my piano. It's important to make them to read, to communicate about books, but also to respect the author rights. So they have to learn also this. After that, you can let your imagination to lead you. For example, if you have a PowerPoint presentation, I hope many of you already know. I'm sorry for you if I will say something that you already knew, but you can insert from here. This is the menu. That's why I choose to present my screen, to share my screen. And from here, you can insert pictures, online pictures, screenshots if you want, photo albums or pictures from your photo albums, also a textbook and word art, different types of symbols if you want, and video or audio. Of course, you will make a plan before creating a book trailer to organize them all in the right order. And of course, you will go into a slideshow mode to see how your audio parts fits with all the slides. If you insert, let's say, an audio part, it's easy. Go to audio part, record it right now, or audio from your PC. And also, if you will choose one from your PC, as I'm presenting exactly right now, you will, okay, let's see. I find this Beethoven Ode to Joy. Here, when you will choose to add some sound, you have also some parts. You decide when we will start, at the beginning of this slide, at the end, after one text box or one photo. And you also decide what effects you want to put on this sound part. It's easy for children, and for them, it's a happy way to discover many things about computers and also to present in a very nice way their favorite book. So we put images, we put drawings, we put musics or some other parts you want to make your presentation great. I choose here to, if you have phone, you can scan with QR code and you can tell me if it's okay to you to make these QR codes bigger, because these QR codes scanned by the phones will lead you to the book trailers realized by my students. I don't know if you hear me. And if you hear me and you want to, you can put the phone call, the mobile phone on this picture and scan. This is a QR code for one presentation, one book trailer made by my children, my student. And also this one, if you want, the other one. This is for Clementina. As I already told you, I'm a primary school teacher. When they are small, they are very, very happy to spend time on computers or on console or gaming console, but less time on books. That's why I thought this is a better way to attract them to books, to lecture, and to another way more appropriate to their abilities and their hobbies to speak about their books. I don't know if you already scan these QR codes. Here I insert one video. It's a video realized for Matilda, the book, the famous book, made by 3 students of mine. If it's okay, I will. Matilda este o fetiță care începe să citească de la vârsta fragedă de 3-4 ani. Părinții ei nu. I will not let it till the end, but as you see, 3 girls want to speak about Matilda and their favorite character. One of their favorite character, and they choose to put their own drawings because they were afraid not to make some problems with author rights. They draw their characters in their way, present them, also the school, the room, the Matilda's room, the principal of the school, some other characters, and some parts of the book. Also, they present this book trailer in a contest, in a student contest, and for them was a very difficult way at the end to present it, because they didn't want to use words, just pantomime and sounds, and was another way to challenge their imagination. What is important for this book trailer? What is the most important thing? The most important thing also for teachers and students is to let them to express themselves in a way that they choose. For example, one of my students, when I try to make some correct to do, I said, maybe you will do this better if you will try. No, this is my way. I want to present it like this because this is how I understand the situation. And this was also a lesson for me as a teacher, because sometimes our students can become our hero when they find different solution, or more creative, or more unusual solution to present things from the books as they understood at their age. So I think this is one of the methods that you can provoke and motivate your students to read more and to be more excited about characters and plots and different authors. Also, it's a better way to advertise their book, because I hope some of my students will become, maybe if not writers, at least book lovers, let's say in Romania it's called mouse in the library. So maybe they will become one of them. Maybe will become very big fans of books and lecture. Here, if you also have the phone, you can find my presentation. I understood that is already on the site of our conference. What is important for me is not also to give this example, it's also to share with you my experience and to provoke you, because a book trailer can be realized, as you see, at the very young age, 10 or 11, as my children did, as my student did. And also I don't know if they are in the high school, so it's not important the age, it's important how they understood the books and what is important from them in that book, what are the most important ideas to transmit to the others. Also, it's important for the students to transmit to the others the love for lecture, the passion for reading, and for communicate in another way than the easiest one with a pen on a paper. Thank you. If you have some question, or I don't know, maybe some other things to say, or maybe...
Hi, Anga. Thank you very much for your presentations. I have gathered some comments and some questions. I have asked also the participants how are they dealing with the motivation of their students. So we have some comments. For example, I motivate them with games, brainstorming, drawing. My students are 7 years old and they like joint activities in which everyone participates. Then there was another one. It says hardly, but I keep going. Yeah. So I think your presentation was very useful. I also noticed from Erasmus courses and meeting the teachers, that is more and more common, that they are difficult to motivate and to engage. So I thank you, and hopefully this presentation will come in handy also. The QR codes were working, okay? We have a lot of comments that it was a great idea and interesting material and very motivational. So at this point, I thank you very much for the presentation. If there will be any questions also in the meantime, I will let you know also by the end, okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we are going now to the second presentation, and we have Nida Türkelay, E-Ways of English Language Teaching. Hi, Nida.
Hello again. Yes.
Hi.
And okay. Share
Okay.
the presentation, Tina.
Yes. Okay. So go to just the first slide. Yeah.
Yes, first.
And when, okay. Do you manage to go back and forth?
Okay.
Okay. I will
Yes.
leave the stage to you, and if we need to change the screen sharing, just let me know, okay?
Okay, thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
And hello, dear participants. I'm Nida Türkelay from Turkey. And today I'm gonna share with you one of our e-twinning projects, e-ways of English language and education. And this project was applied in 2020 and 2021 education year during the pandemic time. And there were 7 high schools in our project from Turkey, Lithuania, and Italy. And our project was based on 9th grade English lesson curriculum of each country. As the teachers, we picked the common subjects and integrated them with the most suitable web tools. And our students created many products by using these tools. And at the end of this project, we had an ebook of interactive activities and works of our students also added on our project's website. I will start with a little introduction. I'm sure you all know that English is the language of internet, business, science, education, travel, tourism, so on. So it serves as a common language and global language. So this is the reason why it's important to teach and learn English as a second language. And it's one of the priorities of many schools to develop their students' foreign language skills, especially in English language. And as the teachers, we are all aware of that. We have a relation and interaction with the different generation, and they are called digital natives. This term was coined by Mark Prensky in 2001 to describe a generation of people who grew up in the era of technology, including computers and internet. So they are so quick to learn anything deals with technology, and they can create their own contents, and so that's why we have to find a way to make our students more enjoyable and attractive for them. And as the teachers in this project, we came together and trying to find a solution to make our online lessons more attractive for our students. Because in English lessons, when you have face-to-face lessons, we can have different activities such as drama, game, group, and teamworks, speaking activities in teams, and etc. And they are face-to-face. You can do anything you want during your lessons in the classroom. But when we come to the online lessons, the distance learning, these techniques cannot be so useful. You cannot do all of thing in your online lessons. And but the only way to use some of methods and techniques of teaching a language is to integrating them to Web2 tools into online lessons. And during these projects, our students were so active, and they created and presented their works in the lessons. So they were more willing to attend our online lessons. And also this project developed their technology skills. And how we did this. And how we did this, and during this project, this project lasts 8 months, and during this project we had 5 different modules. In each month, in a module, our students had some activities, some duties to do and share with their peers. And for instance, in module 1, for the subjects in our curriculum, in module 1, such as introducing yourself or describing your bedroom, neighborhood, or asking or giving direction activities, we choose these Web2 tools, Canva, VoiceThread, and Plotagon. On Canva, the students prepared some posters that describes themselves. And on VoiceThread, they prepare some presentations about their bedrooms and their neighborhood. They took the pictures, and they prepared presentations, and they added their own voice to VoiceThread. And for the asking and giving directions, they used Plotagon, and they created their own animations. And maybe I can show you some of the examples. Tina, can you click on the page?
Yeah, just please now try to share your screen so I can edit.
Okay.
This is right.
No.
I don't see anything coming in at this point.
And
so do you need help with sharing the screen maybe? Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. For instance, okay.
Okay, now we can see.
Can you see the VoiceThread screen?
See, we can see everything, yeah.
Okay, is it okay? Can you see it now?
Yes,
for this activity is one of the VoiceThread activities of one of my students in the project.
There's a big wardrobe near the makeup desk.
And in this,
there's a study desk opposite to that. There's a computer, books, and lamp on the study desk. There's a dustbin under the desk.
Okay, and on this tool, she describes her bedroom. We collected all of the VoiceThread presentations of our students on a Linoid. And here, these are the videos of Plotagon animation videos of our students. And they created their own animations.
I'm afraid I can't find the post office. Do you know where is one?
There's one near here.
How do I get there?
At the bus stop, take first right and go straight on. It's opposite the shopping mall.
Great. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
And on Canva also they prepared their posters that they give information about themselves. And in module 2, in each module we had various web tools for the each subject on the curriculum. For instance, for the likes and dislikes activities, they prepared SurveyMonkey, essays on SurveyMonkey, and surveys on SurveyMonkey, and they shared them with their teammates, and they evaluated the results all together again. And on Toontastic, they created animations for inviting, refusing, and accepting subjects, and writing diary. They created a common character altogether, and they write a diary of their common character Lily on Story Jumper. And for the telling time, they prepared some games on Educandy. For in each module, our students were so active, and maybe I can show you the collaborative diary on our Story Jumper. I will try to share the screen again. At the end of the presentation, I can share our website's link to see our students' works also. If you want to visit, you can go there. Oops, sorry, this is the Google form, and here is the Story Jumper book. I couldn't open it. I don't know why.
For the moment, I don't see anything coming in, but when you will upload it, I will share it, okay?
Oh, sorry. And I think is okay, I think you will see it. I forgot to share screen. Okay, here are the works of our students, and it's so little here, so I cannot show you the Story Jumper book. But maybe at the end of the presentation, I can share the link of our project with you, and you can go there and see all of my students' work there. And can you share the slide again, Tina? Thank you. And in module 3, students for the subject of present continuous tense, our students prepared posters about what's happening in their country or city. Again, the common character Lily traveled to each city of partner schools and learn about the culture, history, traditional food, costumes, etc. And also, one of our students prepared all of this all together and edit them on a Google slide and share with their peers. And also, our students prepared posters about their inspirational people and shared them on Padlet. And in module 4, for the simple past tense, for instance, we use ChatterPix, ThinkLink. On the ChatterPix, our students created avatar of their historical figures, and they gave information about them. And on ThinkLink, again, our students introduced the historical places of their countries and cities. And for the emergency measures subject, they prepared leaflets all together as the themes on Poster My Wall. And in module 5, they wrote a collaborative poem for their talking, for their future plans. And they created invitation cards for the subject, invite someone to somewhere. And on January, they prepared presentations on Genial Perez or emails. They choose which of them they want to use, and we gave them some subjects, and they wrote that their ideas about these subjects, expressing agreement or disagreement, to show the subject expressing agreement or disagreement. And after each module, we came together with our teammates, as with the students and teachers, on online meetings, and we watch all of them, and we evaluate our works, and we share our comments after each activity. When we come to there are many conclusions of this project, because it's full of activities, and during the pandemic time, it helped us to be more positive for the future, as we have things to do, as we have some duties to feel and to fulfill. So it was a way of pleasure for us to meet them each week, to meet our friends from different countries, different schools, coming together and sharing something was so interesting, enjoyable, and educative for us. And for the students, our students develop their self-discipline, self-audit skills. They develop their autonomous learning abilities, their 21st century skills, and English lessons became more attractive and enjoyable for them. And they had a chance to use the target language by sharing their materials with their peers. And also students developed their English language abilities with the project activities. During the project, they wrote many articles, they prepared many posters, videos, they practiced their listening, speaking skills by joining international online meetings and debates. And the project made it possible for students to realize the cultural richness of their countries by applying cultural activities, such as preparing a guide that shows tourist attractions and cultural motifs of their hometowns and countries. They realized the importance of mother languages besides learning a foreign language. The students were enabled to take part in recognizing different cultures at the international level and promoting their own culture. And during the project, we used many ways of dissemination. We created social media accounts, website of the project, and besides them, we also had some we also shared our materials on our national platforms. For instance, in Turkey, we shared all of the activities, materials, and products on EBA platform. It's a national educational platform for schools, which was developed by Turkish National Education Ministry. And we share with our also colleagues in our schools all the materials. And we collected all of the products that we created as teachers in an interactive ebook. And also for the visibility of the project, we organized student and teacher webinars with universities, with the cooperation of universities. İzmir 9 Eylül University, English Language Education Department, and one 100. Yıl University English Language and Education Department. And as the vocational development, as the teachers, we also have a chance to see various web tools and to see how to use them in our lessons. And we discovered different ways of teaching English, because as the teachers, we shared our experiences. As the partner teachers, we share our experiences, and we told each other, this can work, or no, this cannot work. Let's do this like this. And we also shared ideas every time during the project. And with the webinars, the participant teachers had a chance to develop themselves in terms of teaching English also. And these activities developed our creativeness in producing materials for online lessons. We also developed our own ICT skills. actually, you all know our students are more skillful than us when we come to technology. So we developed our ICT skills too with them. And it's also encouraged us to create and apply different e-twinning and Erasmus project, because after this project, we had many other e-twinning projects together. Each year we have at least 2 or 3 e-twinning projects with this team, and we try to do something for Erasmus. And the Web 2 tools, let's come to suggestions and I will finish my presentation. And as you see, these Web 2 tools can be used in all online lessons, not only for English lessons. They can be used in all levels of students, from nursery to university. Teachers can use Kahoot quizzes, Socrative for online evaluation. They can use Educandy, WordWall to create games or learning apps, leave worksheets for evaluation and homework. We can also use Plotagon, Untitled Chapter, VoiceThread to evaluate speaking skills of our students. They can use Canva, Poster My Wall to create posters, presentations, infographics, leaflets for their lessons, and give them as a task for the students to see if they can apply their learnings or not. And we can also use Turjumper, Tingling, Capweek, Eagleston, Canva to work collaboratively with students and our colleagues to create common works in our lessons. Thank you for listening to me. There are many things to talk about this project, and I try to summarize as I can do, as much as I can.
Of course. Thank you very much for your presentations. I don't know if you were able to see, there were many congratulations, many comments about your presentation. They found it very useful. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure for me.
At this moment, we will move on to the next presentation, okay? If there will be any additional questions, I will let you know also at the end, okay? Okay, do you want to add something? Okay, then.
It's okay, we can go on. I can share the link with you if you want to share it with the participants, the link of our project site.
Just send me a link and I will share it with the participants, okay? Okay, so we will now move on. I will invite our next presenter, who is Anna Stefanovich-Kocol. Hello, Anna. And
Hello.
we have a culture-sensitive, social-constructivist model of blended learning and teaching. Do you want to share your presentation, or should I just add it to the screen?
Oh, well, I hope my presentation is visible now.
Yes, it is. Can you see it? Can you move back and forth?
Yes, and I can move the slides. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the stage is all yours, and thank you for participating.
Thank you very much. Okay, as I said, I'm in very good company because, as I said, I was going to talk about school education, secondary school, but then what happens in secondary school actually results from what happened in primary schools. So the students that come to secondary schools, they are only as good as they were when they left primary schools. So the problems of secondary teachers are very much connected with the problems of primary teachers. And actually, this presentation, my aim is to disseminate the results of a project that was carried out to help teachers of secondary vocational schools improve their quality of teaching. But I hope it can be useful for other teachers as well. And although the project has not finished, I think it's important to come up with the preliminary results as early as possible, and you will see why. And I'm very happy I have heard those two presentations because they confirm a lot of what we have done so far. Anyway, the culture sensitive social constructivist model of blended learning and teaching is actually the final product of the project. So I will get there first, guiding you through the process of preparation of this model and actually the process of realizing the project. The project's name is, actually you can see the acronym, IDEA, and it stands for Innovative Digital Education Approach. It is an Erasmus Plus K2 strategic partnership project with 5 countries, Poland, North Macedonia, Romania, and Spain and Portugal. There are 3 secondary vocational schools, 2 NGOs, and us, a university that helps with anything we can help. We also cooperate with a number of secondary schools in other projects, national projects, and we were able to get in touch with teachers and get some very important insights into their problems as well. Now, the actual aim, as I said, is to improve the teaching. But the fact is that to solve a problem, you have to identify it really well. So we actually decided to come up with a project that will first look into the problems, then will provide solutions directed at the problems that will be identified. So at the time of preparing the project, we knew there were problems because we had prepared some analysis of the situation beforehand, but we didn't know what solutions we would have to come up with because we didn't yet identify the most urgent and the most important problems that should be addressed first. Then finally, we wanted to test the tools that we would choose and pilot them and see how they were received at schools and what teachers and students said about them, and finally let people know what they were and what we have found out. So, well, the main problem that we saw as a consortium was that many teachers were not quite ready when the pandemic struck to enter into this digital world. There were teachers who were avid fans. I'm one of them. I love teaching online and I'm comfortable using a lot of tools, but many of my colleagues are not. Many of my colleagues are quite simply not very much into this digital world, and they were happy teaching the way they used to teach, and students were happy being taught the way they used to be taught. Now, this new situation meant a steep learning curve for teachers as well, especially that the amount of techniques, yes, my colleagues as well, they were also having trouble coping with a lot of the learning curves that were in front of them. We suddenly had to learn a number of different applications, systems, online platforms, and so on, and the like. Well, what happened anyway, we in the project, coming back to the problems, we had prepared at the stage of preparing the project, preparing the application for the project, we had prepared a situation analysis by country, by each partner. And we kind of summarized the situation based on the scarce evidence we had at the time. This was 2020. Published evidence, and based on just anecdotal evidence. So our discussions with our colleagues, small study groups that we quickly organized and talked about, brainstormed what might be the problems. Now, these short documents, 2-3 pages, they were included as attachment to the application, and they worked really well. The reviewers really liked them. And we said we would actually look into the problems together to find some solutions that might be useful for others as well, not just for the consortium. And we did. We ran a content analysis of the documents. We filtered the problems. We used those results of the content analysis to create a questionnaire. At the piloting stage, it appeared to be too long, so we shortened it to 20 questions. And I haven't got the time to talk about all the results of the 20 questions, but we eventually got 120 secondary school teachers. There were 120 something, but not all of the 7 to be exact, but not all of the answers were complete. So we only included the 120 questionnaires that were complete. So all the questions were answered, and from 5 countries, and data analysis was carried out. And now the conclusions that we developed, they come next in a moment. But what I would like you to have a look at is this very difficult to read slide, I'm afraid. Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, I will talk you through it quickly. These are the problems that were identified also at the stage of content analysis of the situation analysis documents. And the respondents could tick as many problems as they wished, as they wanted. And if you have a look at what they chose most frequently, there are 4 points that stand over 50% or more. So 50% or more teachers saw that technical problems were an issue, and mainly with the internet connection. Then that was exactly 71.4% of the respondents. Then lack of motivation was practically the same level of a problem. Also, 70% of the respondents ticked this point as an issue during blended or distance teaching during the pandemics. Now, the other problem that was also identified and also ticked by teachers was students' lack of readiness for autonomy. So what was expected from the students was to be responsible for their own learning, and it appeared that teachers observed how students struggled with the responsibility for their own learning. The controlled way of teaching that we do on a regular basis in the classroom was in no way compatible with what happened during online classes, even in blended learning, when they have to do something on their own, when they are faced with the device, with the computer, tablet, laptop. That's something that they have to get ready for. And well, also quite a big problem is evaluating students' learning. We have had our own ways of evaluating, and they were mainly more or less useless during the pandemic. We all had to create some new innovative ways of evaluating student learning. Now, I can see that this is cut at the bottom of the presentation, but I will put in the link. Oh, is it? No, I will put this link to the journal article where we summarize all the findings of the study. If you're interested, they have been published just actually last week. So, well, you're most welcome to enter the article and read about all the 20 questions being analyzed. Anyway, looking at the 4 main problems, just a minute. Okay. 4 main problems that I have just mentioned: technical problems, students' lack of motivation, readiness for autonomy, evaluating student learning. We decided to focus on these first before we address others. And we thought, okay, so what solutions can we find? How can we address the problems? And we divided the solutions into two groups. The first group are approaches or methods, and the second group is the toolbox. So the actual tools that teachers can use to approach students and to help solve the problems. The approaches and methods that we identified were social constructivist teaching, allowing for real interaction, for growth of an individual in a student-centered, individualized situation, teaching situation. And then blended learning rather than distance learning was preferred to help the technical problems. As teachers, I'm sure you know that you always have a plan B down your sleeve. And if the technology fails, well, you can find a way if you have access to your students. If you don't, if you're online completely, well, trouble. Now, obviously, it's not always a choice. We saw it during the pandemics. And I'm sure, well, people will work for improving access to the internet. But that's for now. I guess we need to include as much as possible of blended learning approach. And we also defined blended learning as not just partly online, partly on site, but as mixing technology with everyday teaching. And by mixing it with everyday teaching in class, you get students acquainted with the ways, with the behaviors they have to manifest, they should manifest when they are working autonomously on their applications. And that should also help the problem of preparation for readiness for autonomy. Now, I was happy to hear the examples of my colleagues who presented before, because they very much fit in with the flipped classroom, gamification, and project-based learning ideas that we also actually went for, because we believe these have got the exact features that solve the problem of motivation, solve the problem of gradual preparation for autonomy. It has to be a gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight. We don't grow up overnight. And also evaluating students' learning with project-based learning is much more straightforward than just, well, the behavioristic test that we are used to in the classroom. Now, the toolbox includes just a selection of tools. And I've heard already today tens of tools, all of them fantastic. So the ones we chose, well, first of all, we made sure that they are accessible to teachers and to schools. So you don't have to pay for them. They have a free version. Or at least they have an option where you can have a trial version and you don't have to include vast amounts of funds. They also either help with the evaluation, or they motivate, or they, like VideoScribe, they allow the teacher to prepare materials for flipped classroom later on. And what we have prepared for these are straightforward tutorials that first of all set out the actual rationale why we think it's a good tool, and then explain step by step how to get busy with them, and then give examples. So things that students already used in the classroom. Now, talking about using these, that was the next step of the project. We wanted students to actually use that, and we wanted teachers to get busy using them. And the secondary schools that participate in the project actually did that. So schools in 3 countries implemented the Toolbox for activities per tool in each school. So that's a lot of activities. We made sure that the formula of the classes was blended with elements of flipped classroom, gamification, project-based learning, and in total, we evaluated the tools with very simple 4 questions questionnaire. 360 students and 12 teachers evaluated and piloted the activities. And the preliminary results, because the study has just finished in June, the preliminary results are very, very promising. 90%, over 90% of students and teachers are very, very positive, very satisfied. And they would like, that's the most important thing, they would like to use them again. I think that's something that helps understand how important it is to actually introduce new things. Doing something for the sake of doing something does not make sense. Doing something because it has an impact makes sense. We're going to publish, of course, both the tools and the tutorials regarding the tools and the results of the pilot on the project website, but the third result of the project is the website. So it's actually being prepared as we speak. And as soon as I have the website address, which is working, I will share it with the community happily at some point. And then hopefully we can, we will see how it works for other people as well. Obviously, more more research is needed. But for now, we have created this model that looks maybe a bit technical, but we thought this machine where each and every wheel is important for its work is the best representation of the model, the best graphic representation, because we need all of the elements to be successful, to leave the classroom smiling and telling oneself, okay, I have done something worthwhile today, and my students have done something worthwhile today. So we have included in this model all the elements that we have named in the solutions. So social constructivist basis, then blended learning rather than distance education, and then the scaffolding, which gets students from being not quite ready to being very much ready for autonomy, and an autonomous student responsible for their own learning. They need to be motivated to keep going. We all know that, mundane tasks demotivate us. So as teachers, we need to make sure the tasks are challenging enough, but not too much, and interesting enough, but obviously it's not about fun. It's about how the students learn that that matters very much. This model, as all of the results of the pilot study, will soon be published in another article, same journal, hopefully. At least that's what they say. They want to continue the storyline, as they say, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Okay, well, if you have any questions, you're most welcome to contact me. As I say, I will share the link to the article in the chat in a moment. Thank you very much for all your wonderful comments. Thank you.
Anna, thank you very much. for your presentation. I can see from the comments that they found it very useful. Anything that you would like to share, congratulations on your article. We will also share it in our group, so feel free to also send me. I can resend it. So thank you for now. We will have to go on to the next presentation. I have put some comments. I don't know if you have seen them. Also at the end, we can address them once again. So thank you for your work. And if you want to add something or
Thank you.
for now.
That's great.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will go to our last presentation of the day. I will call Irena Biba to the screen. Hi, Irena. And she will present the active learning and innovative teaching in flexible learning spaces. So, hi.
Hello. Yes, I am
Hi.
here.
Okay. Will you share your presentation of your screen?
Yes, hello again, dear eminent speaker, dear participant. I'm ready now to share my thoughts about my topics, active learning and innovative teaching in flexible learning classroom. Yes. The school education is in a critical transition phase where the increasingly technology-rich learning environments and student-centric pedagogy are gaining ground in current practices. Schools and teachers are also directly impacted by developments about modernizing or transforming physical learning environments. A way to address these challenges is active learning pedagogies that helps all the students, all the teachers prepare the next generation of learners for the problems that they will face in ever-changing world, no? Today, we will learn about active learning, what active learning is, and discuss how can we implement it in the classroom. We will discuss or we will explore which are the key competencies and transversal skills and why are they important for the 21st century learners. Before we dive into the actual content of this session, I wanted to know what are the first thoughts that come to mind when active learning is mentioned to you. You can add some words that first come to mind now in live chat if you want. What about definition of active learning? After warming up by reflecting a bit on the active learning pedagogy, we are ready to get it started and explore what is the concept is all about it. In theory, there are several definitions that explain active learning. The roots of active learning can be traced back to Confucius, who stated, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. It is also commonly thought that people remember 10% of what they read, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, 50% of what they hear and see, 70% of what they say, 90% of what they do. In other words, learners need to share their learning experiences, make links with their background knowledge and new information, and apply it to their daily lives, no? Another definition suggests that active learning is a process of creating meaning. New knowledge is built when students combine new information with their existing concepts, knowledge, or experience through the reflection process. Any new information that is not consistent with the past experiences is rejected as incorrect or incorporated into the new knowledge. To create meaning in active learning, students have to produce active effort. In other words, active learning requires students to do something that read, discuss, write, that needs higher order thinking skills, no? Benjamin Bloom defines higher order thinking skills as the cognitive processes that require thinking at a more complex, higher level, as it indicated in the image you can see now. Remember, recall facts and basic concepts, understand, explain ideas or concepts, apply, use information in new situations, analyze, draw connection among ideas, evaluate, justify a stand or decision, and create, produce new or original work. Additionally, according to literature, active learning within an active pedagogy framework must be student-centric. Gilliot explains that students learn through real-world problems in an individual and interpersonal way that allows them to process information actively and deeply. The 5 key characteristics of student-centered approach are identified. The first, the balance of power. For the student-centered approach to work, power needs to be redistributed from teachers to the students. As students should be in the center of the learning process, they need to start being in charge of the learning process, having the ability to influence and what and how they are learning. The second one, the function of content, following the constructivist approach, where learners actively construct their knowledge by constructing the meaning and relating to the previously acquired knowledge. The role of the teacher, involving students in the process of acquiring knowledge and being active in the learning. Teachers are not the only source of expertise, and students should not wait for them in order to learn. We go to another one, the responsibility for learning. Students should be responsible for their own learning. They should be taught how to learn and become autonomous, self-regulating learners. The last one, evaluation, purpose, and processes. Teachers need to implement assessment for learning and assessment as learning, both being formative assessment strategies to support students as learners. The pedagogy of active learning is not new, you know. Research supports that these elements are influenced by some pre-existing theories. According to University of Cambridge local examination syndicate, active learning has its roots on constructivism, social constructivism, schemas or schemata, scaffolding Bloom's taxonomy, child-centered approach, inquiry-based, problem-based or discovery learning, and experiential learning. In more details, constructivism is based on the cognitive theories of Piaget, and learners construct their own understanding individually. According to Lev Vygotsky, learners help primarily through social interaction in social constructivism. Jerome Brunner describes scaffolding as supporting students or a group of students in their learning of new language of skills. The revised Bloom's taxonomy offers a classification of affective and cognitive skills. Active learning approaches will help students develop at every stage as Bloom's taxonomy. Maria Montessori advocates a child-centered approach. Students play an active role in their learning while teachers are activators of learning in student-centered or learner-centered learning. Inquiry-based, problem-based, or discovery learning, where learners learn by addressing and posing questions, analyzing evidence, connecting such evidence to pre-existing knowledge, drawing conclusions and reflecting upon their findings. Experiential learning describes someone learning from direct experience. What are the key competencies? As we have seen in the previous unit, there are different definitions for active learning from different authors. In this unit, we will examine why active learning is important. Active learning is important as it directly supports the development of key competencies and transversal skills. Are you familiar with these two terms and concepts? Let's have a closer look at them. The key competencies determined by the European Commission are those which all individuals need for personal fulfillment and development, employability, social inclusion, and active citizenship. They are developed in lifelong learning perspective from early childhood throughout adult life and through formal, non-formal, and informal learning. They can be summarized as following. Literary competence. Literacy is the ability to identify, understand, express, create, and interpret concepts, feelings, facts, and opinions in both oral and written forms, using visual, sound, audio, and digital material across disciplines or concepts. It implies the ability to communicate and connect effectively with others in an appropriate and creative way. Multilingual competence. This competence defines the ability to use different languages, speaking, writing, reading, listening, appropriately and effectively for communication. Another one, mathematical competence and basic competencies in science and technology. It is the ability to develop and apply mathematical thinking and insights in order to solve a range of problems in everyday situations. Mathematical competence involves, to different degrees, the ability and willingness to use mathematical modes of thoughts and presentations, such as formulas, models, graphs, charts, etc. Competence in science refers to the ability and willingness to explain the natural world by making use of the knowledge and methodology employed, including observation and experimentation, in order to identify questions and to draw evidence-based conclusion. What about digital competence? Applying technology effectively as a tool to research, organize, evaluate, and communicate information. Using digital technologies, communication, networking tools, and social media appropriately to access, manage, integrate, evaluate, and create information to function successfully in a given environment. Personal, social, and learning to learn. It is the ability to reflect upon oneself, effectively manage time and information, work with others in a constructive way, and manage one's own learning and career. It includes the ability to cope with uncertainty and complexity, learn to learn, support one's physical and emotional well-being to maintain physical and mental health, and to be able to lead a health-conscious, future-oriented life. Citizenship competence. It is the ability to act as responsible citizens and to fully participate in civic and social life based on understanding of social, economic, legal, and political concepts and structures, as well as global developments and sustainability. Cultural awarenesses and expression competence. Working effectively in a multinational team, respecting and being aware of cultural differences, and working effectively with people from a range of social and cultural backgrounds. Entrepreneurship competence. It refers to the capacity to act upon opportunities and ideas and to transform them into values for others. It is founded upon creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving, taking initiative and perseverance, and the ability to work collaboratively in order to plan and manage projects that are cultural, social, or financial value. Transversal skills. As regards the transversal skills, the UNESCO framework for transversal skills defines them as skills that are typically considered as not specifically related to a particular job, task, academic discipline, or area of knowledge, and that can be used in a wide variety of situations and work settings. For example, organizations skills. According to this framework, transversal skills are competencies that are transferable between jobs and can be summarized as follows. Critical and innovative thinking. That includes creativity, entrepreneurship, resourcefulness, application skills, reflective thinking, and reasoned decision-making. Interpersonal skills, they include communication skills, organization skills, teamwork, collaboration, sociability, collegiality, empathy, and compassion. Intrapersonal skills, they include self-discipline, ability to learn independently, flexibility and self-awareness, perseverance, self-motivation, compassion, integrity, risk-taking, and self-respect. Global citizenship, it includes awarenesses, tolerance, openness, responsibility, respect for diversity, ethical understanding, intercultural understanding, ability to resolve conflicts, democratic participation, respect for the environment, national identity, and sense of belonging. What about media and information literacy? It includes the ability to locate and access information through ICT, media, libraries, and archives, to express and communicate ideas through ICT, to use media, participate in democratic processes, the ability to analyze and evaluate media content. Practical techniques of active learning. So far, we have gained an idea of what active learning is, as well as the skills and competencies that this pedagogy supports. Are you curious to see some practical techniques and activities on how we can implement it in our classrooms? I think so, I guess, yes. Techniques or activities that help learners create meaning and learn actively. Some of the most common techniques are think, pair, share. The teacher asks students a question that requires higher order thinking skills. For example, levels of application, analysis, or evaluation within Bloom's taxonomy. As the picture you can see indicates, the teacher asks students to think or write about an answer, then discuss their answers with a partner or in bigger groups, and they try to come to a consensus. Then the teacher asks the groups to share their answers and follows up with his or her explanation for the solution. Concept maps. These are visual representations of the relationships between concepts, as you can see at the image. Concepts are placed in nodes, often cycles, and the relationships between them are indicated by labeled arrows that connect the concepts. The teacher has students create a concept map, identifying the key concepts for mapping in small groups as a complete class. The teacher asks students to determine the general relationship between the concepts and organize them 2 by 2, drawing arrows between the related concepts and labeling with a short phrase to describe the relationship. So far, we believe that you have gained an overview of what the key competencies are and transversal skills are. How can you, as an educator, cultivate students' competencies and skills? Team-based learning, TBL. This is a structured form of a small group learning that emphasizes students' preparation outside of the class and application of knowledge in the class. Students are strategically organized into various teams of 5 to 7 students working together. More information on how this strategy works can be found in other materials. Problem-based learning, PBL. The teacher asks students to address complex and challenging problems and work collaboratively to solve them. PBL is about connecting disciplinary knowledge with real-world problems. A student actively guides his or her own learning individually or in a group. The selected problem should reflect real-life circumstances and be contemporary to facilitate the process of learning and doing. Idea for problem-based learning opportunities. If no project ideas immediately occur to you and your students, try collaborating with other educators in your school building or community to share insights. Here are a few questions that can help jumpstart brainstorming. How can we limit food waste in the school cafeteria, for example? How could we improve access to healthy food in our community? How could we track and protect local plant or animal species? How could we improve school attendance? How might we limit cold and flu transmission among students? Is there a better way to manage school traffic during pickup and drop-off times? A very interesting example of problem-based learning can be found. In our school, we have made beautiful projects. In my favorite, in this project, students were involved in researching topics of personal interest. They used many sources of information, including their own experiences. Students were excited to uncover unexpected connections between toys and history, the world of television, businesses, psychology, and other fields of adult endeavors. In addition, students in discussions with the teacher became more aware of how different people use language for different purposes. Class discussions is also among the common activities that promote active learning. Higher prep, which requires more teacher preparation, low prep, which can be used at any time without special preparation, and ongoing strategies, which can be integrated into the instructions. The next units provide some examples for each category. While going through the different strategies, you are highly encouraged to reflect and come up with your own ideas. Higher prep strategies. Some of the higher prep strategies are gallery work. Firstly, students work in small groups on a certain topic assigned by a teacher. Then they are divided into new groups and rotate between the sessions, teaching one another about the content they were working on. Philosophical chair. This is a form of a debate. The debatable statement is read aloud and students divide into positions based on whether they agree or disagree with the statements, as you can see at the image. It may also take the form of a continuum. Standing in a half circle, students take turns to define their positions. Socratic Seminar, the last one of my presentation. For this discussion activity, students need to be prepared beforehand by reading a text or a couple of texts related to the topic and annotating them. The discussion starts with a leader who asks an open-ended question like, what do you think this text means? The discussion follows naturally with the aim of gaining a deeper understanding of the text presented. Socratic seminars can take the form of a fishbowl activity where only a couple of students discuss the topic and the others act as observers. Okay, that's all by me for today. Thanks for your attention, for listening to me.
Hi, Irena. Thank you very much for your presentation. I have asked the participants about the association of active learning, but so maybe I can share now their answer. So they were, the student is interested, student-centered classroom, then engagement, understanding, desire to find out more, student participation, interplay, creativity, motivation, and cooperation. Yeah, these were their associations from the beginning of your presentation. Also, they are saying, yeah, that it's a great presentation, and thank you once again for being with us.
Thank you, and thank you for the questions. Okay, the pandemic situations make us teachers using different tools and different approaches, new approaches. we are now innovative teachers. We want to make the lessons funny and interactive, to use many of the new techniques that I say as the beginning, and the participation of students is more, the lessons are enjoyable for them, and they learn fast. I think. I don't know if you are glad for my response. If you want students participate.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, of course. Okay, so I will thank you for your presentation. I will now also invite all other presenters to just say goodbye. So we have Anda, we have Anna, and we have Nida. So at this point, we've come to an end of our conference. At this point, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to be the presenter. I think the participants were really happy with your presentations. I will share everything, and the presentations are already at the group, but if you have any additional thing or email, I can also share it so that they come in contact with you. Okay? Okay, also for all the participants, there is the evaluation link, which will be posted also in the group, but it's already in the comments, so you can evaluate the conference. And I would also like to invite you for the next one, so for the next month. It is again on the last Thursday. You can apply as a participant or as a presenter. Okay, so that would be it for today. I wish you a very good day and thank you once again. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. Take care of yourself.
It was really great being here with you.
Yeah,
Erasmus
thank
Plus
you.
and Primera courses. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye.